Morning, part two of my dry season update. Unfortunately, well, good for me, but bad for the video. It rained yesterday, so actually the grass looks probably 10 times better. It looked kind of like my neighbors at, with the trees just kind of zapping, but it was like super brown yesterday, and it has responded like nothing to that rain. It has really come back. Some of those dead spots are annual weeds that died, but most of the grass is coming back. So some places, I don't know if that's the Bahia or if that's the real one that responded the most. Definitely the St. Augustine in there and the Bahia grass. But there's some spots in the real front that got super zapped. That it's interesting. The greenest part is right by the water line. I think that just has to do with it being reseeded. The roots don't have to compete there with other stuff. So interesting. Let me show you. Palm still hasn't come back from 2 years ago. I think I needed to take more of the crown out. So I was seeing if it would push through, but I probably needed to cut. I took some of the crown out. But this one, these spikes are starting the back of the, I don't know what you call it, stem, back of the leaf is starting to actually lose some of its green, versus if you look at this side that died in the freeze, it's got one little leaf growing in there, so that might be it sending out a new head. We'll see. Just leaving them to see what happens after. This is gonna be 2 years. I mean, it ain't dead, totally dead yet. Got some green after 2 years, so okay. Whatever. I took out I need to fix this up. I did that right before I went to work. I took out the wood because I got carpenter ants / probably termites in it. You can see right here. Looks good. So you get to the back side and starting to eat away. These are really infested, so I took all that wood out. I'm trying to take wood out of my landscape. So just leaves from now on. Hopefully less mulch. Here's a maple tree from seed. I'm just I have to take that out obviously because this is my septic drain field. But I was just leaving it for a little bit to see. I don't know. I have a couple weeds here. I'm going off topic, but like, example, these are laurel oaks that seeded themselves maybe 3-4 years ago. That I didn't cut down just to kind of see, how many years to what size. So, just for personal observation. Same thing with this hickory over here. That probably killed that blueberry, actually. I don't know. I mean, these blueberries kind of got hit hard, but not, this one got hit the hardest from the drought. There's a hickory. So, just seeing direct seeding, how that goes. Okay, off topic, ADHD. Muley grass survived. The fire bush survived. This is a special cultivar. I forgot the name, but it's a native one. Let's see. This is speaking of weeds, this is a salt bush I've been pruning it back so it would be much taller. This is a salt bush that grew from seed right there in the middle. So it looks like I planted it, but I didn't. But I actually like the look of salt bush. So, I mean, if that's a male, it won't have the look, but Definitely weedy. I had a bunch pop up, but I kind of left that one just for my own knowledge of how it grows. See, these blueberries got zapped. Definitely from the dry spell. This area, I would say, is the driest part of my yard from observation. A couple blueberries survived. These I was going to replace anyway. So, here we go. Here's some native flowers I had going on. So, in some pots. Now, here's my sweet potato bed I planted right before I left. So this is 2 months. So I got sweet potatoes. I made a bed because this was ligustrum before that wasn't doing too well in this area. I think what happened, I don't know. Multiple things happened. One, when I was using bleach on the house to make it whiter, that's not with bleach, but before I had some bleach to use, it fell on the trees and kind of knocked them back a little, but they were already dying, so it was kind of like went together. So I had to remove some, and I'm gonna switch this to a raised bed too, if you can already see what, that's not just from me leaving them, that's me eyeing it up. So I was gonna switch to raised bed for more food production. I'm kind of going away from the, oh, there's a bird, from the food forest aspect, just for the, if you can't tell, it's already crazy. So I'm trying to leave my crazy in one section and keep this part more organized if it's not already crazy enough. But that way my family and people can help me out, because they don't have to think I'll think this weed I like, that weed I like. And unfortunately, that's not, and I even admit to this, is very not pleasing to the eye. So I have a lot of work to do here, but this will make the work here at least easy. So I planted a bunch of sweet potatoes, and some of them I thought were an ornamental type, but I haven't seen many of them come up. So I don't know. This is the one that survived. That's a type from LSU. I also got ube in here that I need to put on a trellis soon. This is the ube. So I was gonna put a trellis in the back for it to grow on. That's a cassia I need to take up. Christmas cassia, or sorry, that's candlestick cassia. So if you look, you can tell this area gets zero irrigation. It's under the eave, so no weeds came up, even though it's been 2 months. Personally, these are a few. I wanted to do kind of a flower garden in the front. These are some native flowers that aren't blooming yet. Personally, it's not native, but this is a type of I don't know, it's about to flower, and I should know the name of this because it's very famous. Goldenrod. So this is one that doesn't really root sucker, but it's kind of fallen over. So it's about to go to flower. This is a, what's the weed called? A couple flowers in here that survived without being irrigated. I'm gonna make this a mow path right here. So these poor flowers are gonna have to say bye-bye. I'll make this a mow path. So I'll do a raised bed here, mow path. My wife doesn't like the candy lilies, and I can't really disagree because I kind of let them go wild on purpose. So they survived the drought, starting to flower. So yeah, I'm gonna switch the candy lilies up. I'll keep them all in one section. I do love the blooms though, they're so pretty. They're not looking their best because of the drought. See a lot of Muley grass, not looking awesome, but survived. That's a fall plant that really shows off in the fall. It gets all pink. I got some white ones in here too, and I forget which one's which, so we'll see when they bloom. Okay, so here we go. Real dry season update. I've wasted 10 minutes of time. So the Bermuda grass has taken over this bed. This is my blueberry patch. So you can see. So what you don't see is the 3 I took already died. One there. One where that fire bush was, and then another one here. So there has been 3 deaths so far of blueberries. They're all on the bottom end, so I think that gets the least amount of, even without irrigation. I thought the bottom would do better than the top, but it seems like these, maybe it was the pH. I'm starting to suspect pH for more stuff with acidic plants being next to the concrete. Maybe this area had more residual lime in it or something. I don't know. That's not from the pH, because that was looking great. So I'm just contradicting myself, but that was from drought and overbearing maybe, because look at all those blueberries we didn't get to harvest because I wasn't home. So these are all the southern high bushes right here. This is my southern high bush section, and this is my rabbit eye section. So the rabbit eyes look much better. They look perfectly fine, except for a couple kind of leaning over a little bit. But got to weed this out. I don't think they look too bad in the drought. So the only one kind of fighting it is over here. That was a pink one. But all the rest of the rabbit eyes are looking pretty good. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rabbit eyes. And the rest have been southern high bush. I got a bunch on sale at Lowe's a couple years ago. And a few other places, but the majority are all the same or within 2 species, 2 types from Lowe's. They're on sale for $6 in the off season. We got this type of vining. I forget what it is. It's this type of weed. It has a little cucumber at the end of it and it's kind of acting as a ground cover, but it will climb. If you can't see in this Dwarf Walters viburnum, it's there's the lubers. Hey buddy, need to take you out. It'll climb, but it's kind of weird. It's acting as a ground cover right now. Interesting. So I took out another Dwarf Walters viburnum right here. I had 4 or 5. I took all these out. You can see how much they sucker. So that's sucker growth from cutting the main ones out here. I want to say there. So I'm leaving one just to leave it, but they're nice. You can keep them like a formal shrub like that. So if you want a formal shrub, but I didn't notice much berry production on them, even though they flowered. So they might need a second cultivar close for cross-pollination. I'm not sure. But I kind of had them as a bird plant. And, they're all right. I was thinking about replacing. So this is a boxwood that looks terrible because it was, see where the path is, it was growing all the way there. I cut it way back. And the thing I liked about the boxwood, even though it offers not much for it's a screen for my neighbors to see all my trash cans and hide all my stuff back here. So a very good screen. So I'm leaving. The problem with this is it suckers. So, and it gets pretty wide. It's a little harder to control. Boxwood is much easier to control. You only got to cut it, 2 times a year maybe. This is like once a month. So just think about maintenance and something I'm not even eating I'm going to just leave that. So observations. Canna lilies probably coming out. Maybe just thin them out. Maybe leave a couple. Walters viburnum suckers a lot. So if it was in a formal hedge on a place you mowed, it would be fine. So like, for example, if I had it here, where my neighbor's property is, beautiful grass. If I had him here and you were mowing, it would cut all the suckers, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. So in that terms, that would be nice. If you want like a boxwood, my neighbors have the ligustrum over there as like a fence. If you had Walters viburnum for that, it would do the same function, because if you're mowing around it, it's gonna just take out the suckers for you. Other observations. Blueberries couldn't handle the drought. So instead of replacing it with a new blueberry, every time a blueberry goes out, I'm not replacing it. So where they live, they live. Where they die, something else should go there. Bermuda grass taking over during the dry season. So that's now this area is lots of mulch. I mulch this all the time for the blueberries. So that could have also been what killed this blueberry, is too much mulch. Maybe this tree, maybe too much mulch, but we'll see. I think it might have had too much growth, too much blueberry production. Not sure, because I had that one died. I cut it all back by a couple living twigs, and it's coming back if you can't see. I had this one never came back. A couple others I removed, but actually survived in pots. Oh, let me talk about this. This is a lime sizzler firebush. I actually think it's a cultivar of the native type based on just observations. It's got the real red flowers. It seems like on the leaf it's hairy, which is a sign of being the native type. So off the video I watched, I'm thinking this was the native type. I have 4 fire bushes on here. I'm going to keep this under 20 minutes. So this is the native type. Then another type I bought in the back from a native nursery was actually not the native type based on research. But you can tell is I guess they are like, they get a little scratchy on the native ones, and the non-native ones are like a thick sheen, and then the flowers, orange is like a giveaway. So, and there's some Napier grass I planted. So, I'm thinking that lime sizzler is actually a native cultivar. It's from Texas. I looked it up. That's where the patent's from. But anyways, this is my thought. So, it's a variegated type, but very beautiful. All my neighbors give comments on this one. Okay, dry season part 2, the other part of the yard. Some observations. I did it after rain, so it's kind of misleading. The grass looked way worse yesterday before we got a little rain, but I wish I had done it before then, so it looked worse. But yeah, so that's the dry season update part 2 and other observations from the front of the yard.